Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Here for another reading of the Bhagavatam, and our backs are against the wall. Another brick in the wall. Reading in a different room. We actually have a feature wall in the apartment that we live in.
It's real. They're real bricks.
Yeah, they're real, like real bricks. But we never use it. But it's like people use it all the time. We should create a whole space.
Well, they don't use this marble. They use their own walls. You said people use it all the time, but not our one. People don't come in to use it.
Okay.
Canto 4, Chapter 23, Text 17.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
So the third one, if you know it, you're supposed to go high. No, this is actually a science thing.
I
You
do
go
it.
Low, and then you go medium. See, high, low, medium. Anyway, we'll practice it.
Anyone out there knows what she's talking about? Put it in the comments. Okay.
Text 17. He amalgamated the mind with the senses and the senses with the sense objects according to their respective positions, and he also amalgamated the material ego with the total material energy Mahatattva. In respect to the ego, the total material energy is sundered. What? Sundered in two parts.
Sundered.
I never seen that word in my life. Sundered in two parts. One agitated.
Torn asunder.
Yeah, but I've never seen this word before.
What do you want? A cookie or something?
I won't mind. I'm a bit hungry. One agitated by the mode of.
Sunder means divide,
I'm
split
getting
apart,
divided now.
jar asunder. That's where it comes from.
Okay, is that what it says in the Oxford Dictionary?
That's what it says in the book of John Nitai.
Alright. One agitated by the mode of ignorance and the other agitated by the mode of passion and goodness. Due to agitation by the mode of ignorance, the 5 gross elements are created. Due to agitation by the mode of passion, the mind is created. And due to agitation by the mode of goodness, false egoism or identification with matter is created. The mind is protected by a particular type of demigod. Sometimes the mind, mana, is also understood to have a controlling deity or demigod. In this way, the total mind, namely the material mind controlled by material demigods, was amalgamated with the senses. The senses in turn were amalgamated with the sense objects. The sense objects are forms, tastes, smells, sounds, etc. Sound is the ultimate source of the sense objects. The mind was attracted by the senses and the senses by the sense objects, and all of them were ultimately amalgamated in the sky. The creation is so arranged that cause and effect follow one after the other. The merging process involves amalgamating the effect with the original cause. Since the ultimate cause in the material world is Mahatattva, everything was gradually wound up and amalgamated with the Mahatattva. This may be compared to Shunyavad or voidism. But this is the process for cleansing the real spiritual mind or consciousness. I just need to go back to the verse because I don't know what is going on. Right, so Prithu Maharaj amalgamated his mind with the senses and the senses with the sense objects, and then he amalgamated the material ego with the total. Wow. It's a lot actually. And that's, I think I'll repeat what was said in the previous reading, at least in the which is for myself and my simple mind. Please don't click that thing.
I did it on purpose.
Please be careful. I personally am just going to rely on the mercy and goodwill of my Guru and Prabhupada and Krishna and Radharani and everyone. to just take me back to Godhead.
Jesus, all the demigods and everything and everyone.
Because, yeah, it's interesting. It doesn't do any, thing when I'm reading it. And if it was like, this is how you got to do it to go back, I just have to amalgamate into the wall, Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's like it's a different era and different age, and he's able to, the senses and the mind are clearly stronger, I would say, than in Kali Yuga, and the whole atmosphere and ethos. I'm not saying crazy things weren't there, but yeah, it's interesting. I don't know how many people could do that now.
Yeah, it's obviously a different era. It's a different yuga. I think when we were reading before, if I'm not... what yuga was this?
I want to say Satya Yuga.
Yeah, for some reason I wanted to say that as well, but I was thinking, no, I don't think it could be Satya Yuga, but maybe. But anyway, so it's obviously a different age. And in this age, there is, the potency. You said it, basically. The potency to be able to control the mind and merge it into these things. Let's read on, see what Prabhupada... Of course, Prabhupada mentions lots of other things about things that are created in connection with... the mode of ignorance, the mode of passion, the mode of goodness. So continuing the purport, when the mind is completely washed of all material contaminations, the pure consciousness acts. The sound vibration from the spiritual sky can automatically cleanse all material contaminations, as confirmed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Chaito Darpana Marjanam. We need only take the advice of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and chant the Hare Krishna mantra to cleanse the mind of all material contamination, and this may be considered the summary of this difficult verse. There you go. As soon as the whole material contamination is washed away by this process of chanting, all desires and reactions to material activities become immediately vanquished, and real life, peaceful existence begins. In this age of Kali, it is very difficult to adopt the yogic process mentioned in this verse. Unless one is very expert in such yoga, the best course is to adopt the ways and means of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Thus, one can gloriously become freed from all material contamination by the simple process of chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Just as life in this material world has its beginning in material sound, similarly, a spiritual life has its beginning in this spiritual sound vibration. Very powerful. So, Prabhupada makes an important point that the verse is complicated, the process is complicated, but Lord Chaitanya has made it very simple in Kali Yuga. Basically, you just need to chant Hare Krishna, and then everything will be okay.
There you go.
There you go. It's simple as that. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy. Chant Hare Krishna, shut your mouth. Just get on with chanting Hare Krishna. But
well, you can't shut your mouth if you're chanting Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Well, that's dumb. That's not very appealing.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
You're not going to win many followers like that anyway.
Well, when you chant Hare Krishna in your mind, that's not moving your lips. But anyway, we're not talking about that. You were trying to make a joke, I think.
Not really. Anyway, text 18. Prithu Maharaj then offered the total designation of the living entity unto the supreme controller of illusionary energy. Being released from all the designations by which the living entity becomes entrapped, he became free by knowledge and renunciation. and by the spiritual force of his devotional service. In this way, being situated in his original constitutional position of Krishna consciousness, he gave up this body as a Prabhu, or controller of the senses. Purport. As stated in the Vedas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of material energy. Consequently, he is sometimes called Maya, or the Supreme Person. I've never heard that. Who can create his pastimes through his potency, known as the material energy. The jiva, or the individual living entity, becomes entrapped by the material energy by the supreme will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Bhagavad Gita, we understand Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Hridi Desha Arjuna Tishtati Brahmanya Sarva Bhutani Yantra Rudani Mayaya. That's 18.61. Ishvara, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is situated within the heart of all conditioned souls, and by his supreme will, the living entity or individual soul gets the facility to lord it over material nature in various types of bodies, which are known as yantra, or the moving vehicle offered by the total material energy, Maya. Although the individual living entity, jiva, and the Lord are both situated within the material energy, the Lord is directing the movements of the jiva soul by offering him different types of bodies through the material energy, and thus the living entity is wandering throughout the universes in various forms of body and becomes implicated in different situations, partaking of the reactions of fruitive activities. Wandering in various forms of bodies. What a shame. One thing that stood out for me was right at the beginning of the purport, Prabhupada is saying, as stated in the Vedas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of material energy. And I was hearing some lecture once recently, and it was explaining how, like, we always preach there's two energies, the material energy and the spiritual energy. And it's like we want to be in the spiritual energy, and currently we're in the material world, so it's material energy. And then someone was saying, the speaker was explaining it, actually, it's not that the material energy is something to be derived or think of less, because it's coming from Krishna, it's coming from the same source. And those people who are on a certain level of consciousness, or, and don't see dualities and this, just see the one. And I don't mean one in that become like my values and this, but that it's all Krishna. And then when you see that it's all Krishna, then whatever may occur, we accept as Krishna. We see his hand and we see her lesson and what's occurring here. But the problem can occur, when we split the two and karmi life, material life, or this or that, but actually it's coming from the same powerhouse, it's coming from the same source.
I think there was something we read just this morning. I can't remember if it was in Bhakti Loka or POP, where the statement was something to the effect that one who's strong in their Krishna consciousness and understands the role that Durga is playing, and that she is the agent of Krishna and she's in charge of the material world, and one who sees the material world as kind of her property or something like that, they think, how amazing is Krishna, that he has created this material world, like that. So it was an interesting thing, because I had not heard it quite so expertly before. But okay, I think we're going to stop there. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and please continue to read Bhagavatam and share it with others. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.